at 4-month lows on the NSE 20. Many are quite shocked at this. We were hoping to hit very close to 5,000 points. It seems that downward momentum is going to prevail as we head towards the end of the year.
Yes, I think the downward trend is expected as we move towards the festive season. I think this is the period at which we begin seeing a lot of supply in the market as investors begin selling off their shares so that they can be able to probably take up the festive season mood. And also early next year also we should be able to see a bit of the downward trend as investors continue to sell off their shares as the school opens, so they should be able to take care of their school fees and everything.
Well, you said that we could see more downward momentum. Is this a good buying opportunity, or would you be holding off until early 2010? 2011?
I think for the I think for the investors who have the liquidity right now, this is a very key time to begin taking positions, because I think for the first quarter of next year, then we should be able to see a build-up in momentum once again.
Which stocks would you be buying, Bernard? I mean, you're saying good time to start positioning yourself, perhaps reweighting of your portfolio. Which sectors are you most bullish about?
At the moment, I'm looking at Scan Group. We are at a very critical stage in our economic environment. We are recovering from the post-election violence crisis that we had internally. I think the commercial and services sector is a very key sector to look at the moment, and Scan Group being in that sector, it is a key counter to look at. I'm also looking at Cooperative Bank because going forward, I think growth will be at the lower pyramid, and therefore Cooperative Bank being well positioned because of its wide mass of the cooperative movement in the Kenyan industry. I think it's well positioned to tap on that.
Bernard, let's touch on Kenya Power and Lighting Company. This stock down over 5% in yesterday's session. Of course, the rights issue opened today at a price of 19 shillings 50. Tell us about the demand for the rights offer.
Well, we've seen very minimal demand coming through, about 11,100 shares being sold today at a price of 4 shillings. I think investors are still hesitant on taking up the rights, because if the rights are being offered at 19 shillings and 50 cents and the rights issue trading at 4 shillings, it really negates the point of taking a position in the rights issue, because the total value of the rights issue becomes more or less the same as the ordinary shares trading in the market. So you better go for the ordinary shares trading in the market as opposed to the rights issue.
Well, KPLC, prior to the rights issue, which of course, as you said, hasn't been met with great demand, has been coming under significant pressure. Some investors say that they're waiting for the right moment to head into the stock, and we could see some upward momentum going forward. Are you confident that we could see a few gains coming through for KPLC down the line, or do you think that we'll see renewed pressure as we go forward?
As we go forward, I'm a bit bearish on the KPLC ordinary stock. I think at the current price level, it's fairly valued. Therefore, I don't expect to see a lot of deviation from the current price, especially an upward momentum. I think for the investors who had the ordinary shares and were entitled to the rights issue, the investors who stand to gain, as they are going to take up the rights at the 1950 shillings, therefore can be able to sell probably at the current price level. So going forward, I think there will be more pressure on the stock price.
All right, another big story today. National Bank aims to sell a stake to an international investor. Your thoughts on this? We know government owns 22.5% stake in the bank, plus a further 48% through a state-run National Social Security Fund. Do you think that it's a trend that could continue, where we start seeing a lot of these national assets or government having stake in a lot of the private sector corporates perhaps being sold off to some international investors?
Well, I think the move by the National Bank to get an international investor into the bank is a step in the right direction. That is exactly what the bank needs to be able to rebrand its entire image. The bank needs an overhaul in terms of management, and especially also from the board level, so that it can be able to consolidate its growth going forward. I think that's a good intention in the right direction.